live on. But let us put the issues on the front burner. What are these issues that certain people don't want to hear? You did extensive work on the drug issue. Can you talk to us about that? The certificate issue, Chicago University even talked about a case that Enahoro Eba will be filing, at the Abuja court, which we know that he has filed. Tell us all of those issues. And, because all these issues people say speak to characters, tell us about all those investigative work you did do and you did put out there. And for you, Agba, I want you to speak through the connivance of other media because of their own gains in all of this matter. The fact that, as you in your own case, some people came out, probably they were a coward or probably they were given some pecuniary, gains, came out to say that you're not a journalist. The fact that it is the same other media journalists in Nigeria that are so quick to throw other journalists under the bus because of what they're going to gain, and the blue-on-blue fight, sort of to use that word, continues. So David, you start first, and Agba, I want you to speak through that.
So there are basically two stories in one here. The first is a story about the drug trafficking indictments that the candidates of the All Progressives Congress had in 1993. And as I've appeared on this show before to speak about this case, anyone who hasn't read the case files can easily Google them and find them. They are everywhere now. These case files have been sourced from the U.S. District Courts of Eastern District of Illinois, the Northern District of Illinois Eastern Division. And essentially you have this fellow, Bola Tinubu, who was identified by IRS investigative special agent Moss as a bagman, that's a money launderer working on behalf of a drug ring that was trafficking heroin in Chicago. And basically this indictment, which has been on public record since 1993, for whatever reason, this story hasn't properly been told the way it was meant to be told. It's sort of become like a rumored kind of thing. So in the lead up to this election, I decided that I wanted to take this on. That you can't have a story potentially about somebody who has a chance of becoming Nigeria's next president being linked to drug trafficking, and it's just relegated to the realm of like social media rumors and stuff you see on blog pages on Instagram and things like that. So I dug into it, and the information it's visible to the blind and audible to the deaf, right? That this fellow was involved in drug trafficking. And this is not an allegation. This is not a claim. This is a documented fact, right? There are legal documents backing this up, right? This guy forfeited $460,000 of funds that were, I quote, proceeds of narcotics trafficking. This is on record. So, I don't know, possibly because it's been 29 years since this thing happened, and as we tend to do in Nigeria, we tend to think that justice has an expiry date. So because this thing happened 29 years ago and he has been able to get away with it, he became a governor, he governed for 2 terms, has been a political operator, he was elected as a senator in 1992 as well. So basically he got away with it all the time. So the posturing from the camp seems to be that, well, this is already dead and buried, so why are you resurrecting this now? So why are you asking this question? And I think that's a ridiculous position to take because, as I've said earlier, Bola Tinubu is not applying to be president of Lagos or president of APC or president of Dele Alake and Bayo Onanuga. Bola Tinubu is applying to be my president too. And your president, everybody's president who carries a Nigerian passport. So of course he has to answer this question that were you or were you not linked with drug trafficking? And if you claim that you weren't, well, here's the evidence, unimpeachable evidence that you were. So what do you have to say for that? Obviously, he doesn't want to answer that question. He doesn't want to present himself for that kind of type of question because obviously he doesn't have anything with which to defend himself. He's as guilty as sin. That's very obvious. And then the second story which I did, which was a separate story but also linked to that, was a story about perjury. Now, on his INEC EC9 affidavit, he made several claims. He claimed that the date of birth he claimed on his INEC EC9 was a different date of birth to that which he has used in other places. So essentially what happened was the lawyer that you mentioned, Mike Enahoreba, he actually took INEC to court earlier in the year, I think in August, when INEC refused to make Bola Tinubu's EC9 form public, and he won the case. INEC released the EC9 form to him. So then he contacted a law firm in Chicago, Leahy, Eisenberg, and Franco, to essentially investigate some of these claims that were made by Bola Tinubu about his history in the U.S. So subpoenas were sent to Chicago State University, Richard Daley College, Deloitte, where he claimed to have worked, and Anderson Tax, because he claimed to have worked at Arthur Anderson at some point too. And the results that came back from these institutions proved that the claims he made on his INEC EC9, and some of the documents he submitted on his INEC EC9, were completely false. So, for example, the subpoena that went out to Chicago State University, the lawyer asked for all records regarding Bola Tinubu that Chicago State University had, and they responded with the records he used to gain admission to Chicago State University, where he stated that he went to a secondary school called Government College Lagos, and he graduated in 1970. Well, it just so happens that Government College Lagos started in 1974. So clearly he couldn't have graduated in 1970 because it didn't exist. The degree certificate that was provided by the university, which was an exact reprint of the original certificate that was issued to a certain Bola Tinubu in 1979, was a completely different document to that which is submitted to INEC. Different font, different wording, different signatures, and different dates. And then what, in my opinion, the craziest thing of all was that a very simple, some very 5-minute internet research revealed that this document that is submitted to INEC was sourced from an online forgery service called diplomamakers.com. So literally, if you go to the Pinterest repository of this website, diplomamakers.com, you will literally see a template for a Chicago State University fake degree certificate that is identical to what he submitted to INEC. The same grammatical errors on that certificate were what he submitted to INEC. So essentially, this guy or somebody working for him went to a service that produces fake certificates, diploma-makers.com, right? Got a fake certificate from there and submitted it to INEC. So the question is why? The answer to that may be answered by some of the other records that were obtained from Chicago State University. Now, one of the records that was obtained was a transcript from Richard Daley College, which was used to gain admission. And on that transcript, it was stated that the person known as Bola Tinubu that was given admission to Chicago State University, the sex of that person was female. So which essentially means that the person parading himself as Bola Tinubu today and the person who got admission to Chicago State University as Bola Tinubu are in fact not the same person. That person also claimed to have a different nationality. That person claimed to be Black American. Tinubu on his INEC EC9 claimed that he has no nationality except Nigerian. So there are so many questions to answer. There's the basic issue of perjury, which, by the way, is a criminal offense. You can go to jail for that. There's the issue of falsification of documents, forgery. There's the issue of identity theft. There's the issue of non-declaration of supplementary nationality. And then there's the issue of the false claims of having gone to Government College Lagos, which didn't exist when he came to graduate. And just to quickly close on this, the subpoena that went out to Deloitte, the response that came back simply said, we do not know this person. This person has never worked for us. We have no record here. So if you recall, and let me just quickly close with this, his most recent media appearance, where he was asked, how did you make your money? All of a sudden, he made no reference to Deloitte this time around, which the story has been shopping around for decades. These are questions.
All right, David, thank you so much for putting the issues out there, because we deal with the issue. And I'm sure his campaign council will react to all of this that you've put down. They're going to make their own robust reaction as right of reply. How about the question I asked you?
Yeah, the Action Congress. And I did that consciously, knowing also that I am a journalist, because I'm not going to just sit back and watch politicians continue to do this. I have a duty to mold opinion, and I don't, if I see clearly that this politician is a criminal who is working to the detriment of our society, I should be able to use my independent opinion to tell the public that what this person is doing. I feel offended that one of the presidential candidates is refusing to come and talk to us. I feel very offended about that, and I cannot pretend to be objective about it, because that is not part of what we should call a democratic culture. And the earlier we begin to step out and do this, and tell the younger ones, even in the classroom, that journalism, neutrality in the newsroom is utopia. Anybody preaching that should come and prove it, let us see. Every human being is subjective. Every human being has an interest. Let those who hide their own partisanship under professionalism stop preaching to us about neutrality. And if we can challenge ourselves, let them come and tell us where they have been neutral. Every news media organization in Nigeria have their leaning, they have where they are standing, and we all know. Nobody should stop, all of us should stop pretending to be holier than thou. We all know where every one of us stand, and they should stop suffocating and bullying the rest of us to follow their own rules.
Well, thank you very much, David Hundeyin. Thank you very much, Agbaja Lingo, for joining us on the morning show today.